Okay, I think we can start. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, colleagues and friends of South East Technological University, you're very welcome to this afternoon's event, which is to mark the publication of our first strategic plan, Connecting for Impact. My name is Richard Hayes. I'm sure many of you know me. I know many of you here. I'm the Vice President for Strategy for the University, and our President, Professor Veronica Campbell, and I are delighted to be here to outline for you, to speak to you about our plans for the coming 5 years, and to thank you on behalf of the University for your ongoing support. I could say that it has been a long and arduous journey to get to this strategic plan, but it hasn't. It has certainly not been a long journey. A number of members of our governing body are here, and the governing body challenged us as recently as last autumn to produce this plan very quickly. And we reacted to that, but they stuck to their guns, and 6 months later we're here with the plan, and I think it's been a fantastic decision for the university to press on and get the plan done. The plan was approved actually on the 4th of April, so it was approved just before the first anniversary of the establishment of the university, which I think is an achievement in itself. It hasn't been a long period of time, in other words, to do this plan, but it was a very intense period of work. Nor has that period of time been arduous or difficult. In fact, quite the opposite. For myself, and I know for Veronica as well, it has been an enormous pleasure to engage with colleagues and students, to engage with university partners, supporters from within and outside the university community over the last while, and a real privilege to meet so many people who are so passionate about the university and crave its success. It's at once both humbling and challenging to confront such high ambition for and expectations of from across the region and beyond. And we're confident we've risen to that challenge in this document, and we earnestly hope we have the framework here to meet and even exceed the expectations that so many people have for our university and for our success. I think so many people are invested in the university because they recognise the university is vital to the future prosperity of their own communities and the South East in general. And this is certainly articulated in policy documents, and we do reference the National Development Plan and the Regional Spatial Economic Strategy and so on in the document here, and that's certainly the case, that we all know a successful SETU is critical to the realisation of plans for balanced regional development. But also, I think in a deeper way, that feeling of anticipation and hope for the region is deeply felt at a personal level by people, by communities, within businesses across the South East. And I think it's true to say that in all of the conversations we had over the last 6 months, every individual, whether they were representing a regional agency or a particular commercial sector or a business, or whether they were a student or a staff group, every individual really feels passionately about the region, about their own area, and really desire to see it do well, to see good educational opportunities presented to people who live here, to see new businesses come into the area and thrive, to see people get good jobs, and to see the environment in which we live and work protected and preserved. So we framed our plan as a plan for SETU for sure, and for the reform and development of the university. That goes without saying. But I think in an important way also, in its own way, it's a plan for the South East, or at least a contribution towards one. And I think we were very anxious to reflect that in the format of this launch. This is the final event in 4 events that we've had over the last day and a half, and we've launched the plan in each of the 4 regional counties. After today, this is the last of them. And we do so as a signal really of our regional intent in SETU, show that we're the only university region, we're of the region, but also we're for the region. And we're committed to being regionally focused, externally oriented, and collaborative when it comes to assisting with regional transformation. And as a sign of this, we're so very pleased to be able to have these events outside our campus with the generosity of our hosts, and we're very grateful to Pierre for hosting us here in Sun Life today in this fantastic venue. We thank you and thank you and your team and our colleagues in the other venues who have hosted us, and for your ongoing support and work with SETU. So We have 4 speakers at this event today. I'll shortly call on Louise Grubb from our governing body to say a few words on behalf of the governing body and her reflections on the plan from the governing body perspective. We're delighted that one of our students is here, Jen Cullinan is here to say a little bit about her experience as being a student in SETU. And I think we found that these abstract documents, corporate documents, they all look very well and everyone's delighted, but actually it's when real people present themselves as kind of connecting for impact in real life, I think that things begin to be more meaningful. So I know Jen is going to talk a little bit about her journey and reflect on what connecting for impact means for her. Veronica will then, I'll hand over to Veronica, who will take us through the core of the plan and some of the detail. And then finally, as I said, we're very grateful to Pierre Peculier from Sun Life for hosting us here, and Pierre is going to say a little bit by way of closure at the end of the event. There are copies of the plan available in long form, and you'll be glad to hear in short form, agus as Gaeilge, if you want them, and you can take these away and study them at your leisure. But what we'd want to try and do over the next half hour or so is just give you a feel for what our priorities look like for the next 5 years, and to give you a sense of the building blocks we have in place already in terms of the talent, the leadership and the partnerships that will make SETU a success. So without further ado then, could I invite our governing body member Louise Grubb to say a few words. Thanks, Louise.
Thank you all. So on behalf of the governing body of SETU, I'd like to welcome you all here today for the launch of our strategic plan, Connecting for Impact. The strategic plan positions SETU at the heart of the South East Innovation Region. The plan has set out objectives that place SETU, a new and ambitious university for Ireland, to lead innovation and change for the region, its communities and its partners. This university is amongst the largest in Ireland when it comes to student enrolment, and it's amongst the largest employers in the South East. SETU is positioned to make enormous cultural, social and economic impact on the region. And this plan describes the means by which the university will expand its footprint and enhance its physical presence in the South East through considerable capital expansion, including the creation of a university enterprise quarter to provide the focal point for regional innovation. This plan offers a framework within which, over the coming 5 years, the university will considerably broaden and deepen its impact and drive social, cultural and economic transformation for the South East and beyond. As a life science business owner in the South East, I've been a beneficiary of the world-class researchers that is going on at SETU. As recently as the past number of weeks, we as a company were developing a diagnostic which Trivium Vet were challenged upon in trying to measure a specific parameter. So we needed to get some help. We've leaned on the team at PMBRC, and using their expertise and equipment, we've been able to develop the test method effectively and efficiently. And so we've been able to progress with our diagnostic, which we can position to commercialise. Access to this level of research and researchers here locally is a real asset to companies in the region. And the enhancement of innovation and research activity, elevating capacity and capability, as laid out in this strategic plan, will be a real game changer. As an entrepreneur, I'm excited with the prospects of the new and dynamic University Enterprise Quarter on the Waterford Crystal site as a focal point for the South East Innovation Region. Co-locating research, education and enterprise activity to enable idea sharing and collaboration will accelerate entrepreneurial development, a critical factor for a vibrant local economy. So the strategic plan 23 to 28 establishes this framework within which SETU will pursue its mission and deliver on its ambitious vision. Through inclusive education and high quality research, South East Technological University will drive innovation, empower communities and deliver transformative impact for the South East. The governing body thanks all who have worked to produce this plan. We endorse this strategy as the best way to achieve the ambitions of SETU. We'll provide the governance and oversight and support the President and her team and all the staff of SETU to advance this plan over the next 5 years. And I look forward to addressing you again as we progress. And thank you all for coming.
Thanks so much, Louise. And could I say the governing body was fantastically supportive of us as we developed this plan. And the governing body was really engaged with the detail of the plan as well as the overarching themes and ideas, which was really, really helpful. And it would not be the plan it is without the contributions of many governing body members. So thank them for that. So as I said, we thought it would be interesting to ask some current students to say a few words, just to give a student perspective, as it were, to this plan. And I'm delighted to welcome Jen Cullinan to speak to us. Thanks, Jen.
Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Cullinan, and I have just completed second year in Information Technology degree in SETU. I really, really loved the course. One of my favourite parts of it is the fact that there is so much practical work, and we do several projects over the years, so I get to practice everything that I'm learning and see how it works in use, because that's a particularly good way for me to learn. When I was reading and preparing for this last night, I read the SETU, I read the plan, and I saw a section about the SETU core values. And they are: place students at the centre of what they do, promote excellence, work collaboratively, embrace equality, diversity and inclusivity, act sustainably, responsibly and ethically, and treat others with respect and behave with integrity. This has been my experience for the last 2 years. I was trying to find a way of maybe putting that into my own words, but these words were so good because it is exactly what it's been like for me the last 2 years and how much I have enjoyed being in SETU. In first year, I had an opportunity to do the Sun Life Women in Tech mentorship program. It's called Horizon. And my experience doing that also matched the core values of SETU. The program was student-led. I had the most fabulous mentor, and I got to learn about all the different job roles that are available in technology, and I got to shadow some people that I want to be like when I grow up. My mentor and the staff I had contact with were very enthusiastic, supportive, and really very obviously happy in their work. And it made me even more excited to be working in the technology sector. And as with my lecturers, they were all very patient with the many, many, many questions that I had to ask. As I face into my third and final year, semester 5 is a flexible semester for me, and I get to go on work placement. And next week I am starting in Red Hat for 6 months as a software engineer. I'm very excited about that, a little bit nervous, but mostly excited. I do feel the support and the opportunities I have been given up until now with my time in SETU have prepared me well, and I'm looking forward to continuing learning in the workplace. So thank you, Sun Life and SETU, for the opportunities I've been given. I really genuinely appreciate them. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jen. And as I said, we thought it was really important to hear a real story, as it were, of somebody who's in the system, who's in the university and benefiting from what we like to offer. And it's terrific to hear that feedback coming back about how valued we are. Jen used words that mean a lot to us, and particularly you're talking about connection with industry, and I think you used words that talk to the whole quality of life agenda. And I think we would all think in the Southeast that we have so much to offer in that respect, talking about people being fulfilled in their careers and a happy workplace and all of that is terrific stuff. And as we know, we'll be producing 7,000 gens a year in terms of graduates, and this is the kind of talent that we're putting out into the region from this university. So I think the future looks very, very bright. Okay, I want to hand over now to our president, Professor Veronica Campbell, and Veronica is going to talk to us about some of the detail of the plan and explain some elements in it in a little bit more detail. So thanks, Veronica.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real pleasure to welcome colleagues and distinguished guests to the launch of our university's first strategic plan. And this first strategic plan of our new university creates the framework for our activities over the next 5 years. And we've called our plan Connecting for Impact for good reason. The title highlights the key elements in the mission of our university. We are here to make a difference to individuals, to communities, to businesses, to villages and towns, to urban and rural areas in this region, the South East. And through our teaching and our scholarship, through our research and innovation, South East Technological University exists to deliver transformative impact for people in this region. But we cannot deliver this transformation in isolation. We require connection to progress that transformation. So we're thrilled to launch our plan here today in Sun Life to give expression to our desire to connect with communities, enterprises, and organisations outside of the university. And you can take the fact that we are launching our plan in locations across the South East as a declaration of intent, as a signal that SETU will continue to be an outward-looking, connected organisation. And may I add my thanks to Pierre and his team in Sun Life for hosting us here today. In developing this plan, we have listened carefully to the many, many people, both within and external to the university, who care deeply about our students and care deeply about this region. And it's very clear to us that the region needs this university to thrive and to be a significant enhancement on the wonderful institutions that preceded it. We've listened carefully to the regional demand for a step change in what higher education delivers to regional communities. We have heard loud and clear the high expectations regional communities have of us, and at the same time, the enthusiastic commitment to working with us to ensure that SETU is successful. So we make no apology, therefore, for the ambitious programme that we've set out in this plan. And some of what is here will see immediate short-term change, whilst also laying the groundwork for future transformation. And throughout the plan, you will see, I hope, ambition and determination to deliver the university that this region needs and demands. Now, here is our vision for the future. Our ambition for the university is to be a high-performing global technological university. This is not a vision that will be fully realised in the timeframe of this first plan, but the quality that one expects from a leading global university has to be our goal for SETU. And we take the actions necessary in this plan to put us on that strong trajectory. Our aim for SETU is to have transformational impact on the region, and that balanced regional development agenda, which is set out very clearly in national policy, requires a significant transformational outcomes, economic activity and social development. And we place SETU as the anchor institution in the South East, driving that agenda through our own academic activities, through our support for others, many of whom are gathered here this afternoon, and as a coordinating force within the South East. The plan puts us on a trajectory that will see SETU impact on the South East through lifting the level of educational attainment and qualifications, which we know impacts earning power and employability. By increasing our capability in terms of research and innovation, creating from that powerful innovation ecosystem high-quality jobs and sustainable employment. By increasing the talent pool in the region, both by upskilling people in the region and also attracting new talent in. By adding value culturally and socially, enabling our towns and city designate themselves as university towns, a university city, and ultimately creating a UNESCO learning region with the elevated quality of life and attractiveness that that brings. And also by increasing our direct impact on the economy. And by applying the standard multipliers, we would have a direct impact of 900 million euros today. And also, of course, we contribute to the indirect impacts on the economy. By the end of the plan, then, we see the South East as an innovation region and a deeply entrepreneurial region. as a UNESCO learning region, as a more attractive region, holding on to our own talent and attracting more talent from outside. A region with a deep skills base, attractive to employers and industry. And a region into which over 34,000 graduates will come from SETU over the next 5 years. To deliver all of this for the South East, we have structured our plan around 4 sets of strategic objectives relating to innovation and research, our learners, engagement, and our staff. And I'll just give a brief summary of some of the highlights of each of those objectives. So with regard to research, our focus is on leading the region as an innovation region. And this means building our capacity and capability in terms of research performance to be on par with a strong global university. We need to expand our research base, including doubling our PhD student numbers. We plan to develop a university enterprise quarter here on the former Waterford Crystal site as a landing ground for that powerful combination of research, education, enterprise, and business development expertise. Now, this represents an initial step of what is a very bold and transformational project for this region, and it's hugely exciting and can't wait to get started in earnest on that project. Let me say a word about our position within the regional innovation ecosystem before moving on. You'll see this figure in the plan, which represents the various relationships driving innovation in this region. The key to us in progressing the regional innovation ecosystem are the 4 Enterprise Ireland technology gateways, which are critical vehicles for transferring knowledge from our university to enterprise in areas of regional specialism. Our aim through this strategy is to build on this innovation ecosystem, enhancing existing activity and strengthening the key relationships that are represented here. Clearly, we also contribute to the ecosystem through our graduates and through developing lifelong learning activity, creating strong professional development opportunities for those already in the workforce. We look forward to continuing dialogue with all of you, our internal and external stakeholders, on how best to enhance this ecosystem and develop its capacity and impact towards the South East being known as a world-class innovation destination. I firmly believe that we can be leading the way in themes such as offshore renewables, the pharma, health and agri sectors, sustainable business and artificial intelligence, for example, through collaboration, through interdisciplinary thinking, and through the deep expertise that exists in our university. Our students are, of course, at the heart of our university. We have 3 broad objectives when it comes to our learners and the learning ecosystem within SETU. We aim to expand and develop our programme portfolio, especially with the goal of arresting the regional brain drain. And as you will be aware, many students leave this region for higher education elsewhere. Many do so because we simply do not offer currently certain courses. So in our plan, we name a few of the new discipline areas we wish to develop in SETU. Teacher education, for example. And we are currently in a competitive national process for veterinary medicine and pharmacy, the outcome of which we hope to know shortly. Arresting the regional brain drain is a core mission of SETU's, and the retention and development of talent is absolutely vital for the future of the region. Through this plan, we will expand the range of access and progression routes and lifelong learning opportunities for students. We will ensure that our curricula equip our students with the skills to navigate the green and digital transitions, foster an entrepreneurial mindset, and supports them to be active contributors to an ever-evolving workplace, region, and world. We also aim to improve the student experience, and this will include providing student accommodation to ensure that students have affordable places to live. And also, we want to invest in expanding the student support infrastructure on our campuses with a focus on ensuring that our students achieve their potential. Student success will be the success of this region. As I said at the beginning, our focus is on being an engaged and connected university. Our aim is to be recognised as the regional anchor institution, and certainly from the conversations that we've had with you as part of the dialogue around the strategic plan, this is the expectation that you have too. So, for example, we see ourselves as helping lead the societal pivot towards more sustainable ways of living. And part of this involves leading by example and deploying the necessary technologies and innovative practices to demonstrate how carbon neutrality can be done and sustainability achieved. To this end, SETU will create a new leadership role in sustainability to help embed sustainability across our education, research activities, across our operations and our behaviours. Our engagement extends not just regionally, but also internationally, and we want to greatly enhance our global reach, growing our international student numbers, as well as deepening the partnerships we have with universities across the world. In the context of our international partnership and collaborative networks, I want to mention briefly a priority relationship for us, which is the European University project called Connexus. This is a European university for smart urban coastal sustainability. And this network, which has been funded by the EU, represents a very great asset for our university and for the region. This is a partnership between 9 universities across Europe, including SETU, with a goal of developing a really strong strategic partnership to become a global leader in coastal urban sustainability, as well as promote a European mindset through enabling mobility of our staff and students between the partner organisations. And this partnership is amongst a number of deep international alliances that we will develop over the course of the next 5 years. I also want to mention some key regional relationships that we will build on. Recent policy developments in relation to a unified tertiary education system have really encouraged us to strengthen our relationship with the regional education and training boards. We indicate in our plan a strong desire to build on the many years of work done to date to create progression opportunities for students between further and higher education, and to strengthen the relationships between the university and these ETBs. We have a common purpose, especially in provision of skills, and we plan to develop further our common approach to ensure we share expertise and assets for the betterment of our students and the region. SETU will also continue to develop our strong relationship with the Irish Defence Forces and the Irish Prison Service as excellent examples of partnership in support of a skilled and contemporary public service. To meet the challenges of becoming the kind of university we want to be, we shall have to reshape the operations and structures of the existing organisation. Now, we've obviously been involved in a merger programme now for a number of years, and designation as a university does not in itself accomplish the very large body of work that has to be done to ensure seamless cross-campus operations. So we continue to invest in and roll out a large merger programme across all our systems, policies and processes, and will continue to do so for much of the early phase of this plan. It's important to point out that our staff are our greatest asset. We need to ensure that our staff are empowered to be the innovative practitioners, educators and researchers that we know they are. We want to ensure that staff on all of our campuses and across academic, professional, managerial and support staff areas have good and transparent career progression options. And we are also, of course, focused on ensuring equality, diversity, inclusion and belonging are embedded in all that we do. So these aims are all expressed in the plan in the shape of 12 strategic objectives with considerable detail in the document. And we've identified a number of key enablers to ensure the successful implementation of our plan. And these involve developing the necessary infrastructure, and that's across human, physical and digital, to accommodate our ambitions, and also in having the necessary systems and structures internally to ensure the delivery of our priorities. Let me confirm some of the key capital developments over the next 5 years as indicated in the plan. We will deliver 50,000 square metres of new space for teaching and research across our campuses. We will develop the former Waterford Crystal site and create a new modern campus in Wexford. Refurbishing existing space and deep energy retrofit projects are also planned, as well as initiatives to meet the demand for student accommodation. I want to mention here this afternoon some critical enablers that are not within the university's control, but that do impact considerably on our ability to deliver. These are all subject to current discussions with the Department of Further and Higher Education and other agencies, and I do want to acknowledge here today the sterling support of Minister Harris and department colleagues and our colleagues in the Higher Education Authority. All have been proactive in supporting the development of SETU and are heavily invested in the success of this university. As I mentioned a moment ago, a significant capital fund is required to deliver a modern university for this region. We are engaged in a complex merger process and have benefited considerably from good support from government on this. And we look forward to continued support in what is a complex and largely behind-the-scenes activity. I've commented already on the uniqueness of SETU when it comes to the South East region. It's important also to recognise the uniqueness of our student body. We have a larger than average population of students from non-traditional groups, from families who have not sent students to university before. We have a large population of students with disabilities. We have a very large population of part-time students and lifelong learners. I should also add that post-COVID, our learner support staff report very considerable demand from students for mental health supports and assistance. So we need investment from the state to ensure equity of treatment for these groups, to ensure the best outcomes for them. And in the context of a very favourable exchequer surplus, I would offer that investment in South East Technological University is a good value for money and a good way of ensuring the future prosperity for the South East. In addition, I've already pointed out the elevation in research performance needed if the university is to achieve its targets and ambitions. And we're focused on some key upcoming funding calls as potential sources of support for research capacity building. We also see the creation of the full professor grade as really critical to elevate research performance within the technological universities. And I raise all of these things today in this company, conscious that we have here many of the leaders from enterprise and society in the region. And I ask that you continue to support us as we seek to advance our agenda on all of these fronts. So in conclusion, we see ourselves at the start of an exciting, rewarding, and ambitious journey. And with your continued support, we will ultimately see that journey being transformative of our communities and our region, of Ireland and the wider world, through SETU Connecting for Impact. And very finally, I'd like to thank everyone who's contributed significantly to the development of the strategic plan during the consultation process. I'd like to acknowledge the support of our governing body, chaired by Paddy Prendergast, and a particular thanks to Dr. Richard Hayes for the fantastic contribution that he has made in helping to bring this to fruition. So thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
Thanks, Veronica. And as we said, there are copies of the plan available, and you'll see quite a lot of detail in the plan on all of those points. So please take it away with you. And finally, as a valued collaborator and partner and friend of SETU's, and as a company that works with us across a number of areas, I'm really pleased to invite Pierre Peclier of Sun Life, also our host today, to say a few words. Thanks, Pierre.
Thank you, Professor Campbell. Thank you, Richard, for such a comprehensive view of SETU's transformative strategic plan, Connecting for Impact, and for giving me the opportunity to say a few words, and of course for choosing Sun Life Waterford's office to host this event. SETU has been an integral part of the development of Sun Life. I'm proud of the relationship that we have developed over the years and the impact that partnering with you has had on our business. This year, we celebrate a significant milestone with the 25th anniversary of our site in Waterford. And SETU has been a key strategic partner in the development of the growth of our sites all the way. Today, Sun Life is a leading international financial services company providing asset management, wealth, insurance and health solutions to individuals and institutional clients. We help our clients achieve lifetime financial security and live healthier, happier lives. And to do so, we have a global presence in North America, Canada, United States, and in a number of countries in Asia. In Ireland, we employ over 550 people in the areas of information technology, service desk technical support, and business and finance administration. And from Waterford, we like to say that we support the world. Looking back at our collaboration to date, a few significant achievements immediately come to mind. Since we started in Waterford, whenever we identified skills gap, we always successfully collaborated with SETU to advise and build educational content to support and develop our talented employee base. Doing so, we have created numerous opportunities for new talent to join our business and build successful careers through interns, placements, and graduate opportunities. We have closely collaborated with you to create a master's in enterprise systems, as well as the higher diploma in business systems analysis and higher diploma in cybersecurity. These programs have seen a significant number of our employees avail of the opportunity to continue their education on a part-time, flexible basis. We worked hard with you on giving the opportunity to deliver some of these programs virtually to allow our US colleagues to benefit from the same education as our Ireland-based workforce, which had a significant impact for Sun Life globally. An interesting data point, 60% of our employees are SETU graduates, which is an amazing testament to the relationship that you have developed with us, being an employer of choice in the region. Also noteworthy and timely, our Academic Awards program is in its 12th year to celebrate the talent of SETU students in their final year. Every year, we continue to be amazed at the level of talent, innovation, and entrepreneurship we see in the students that take part in the program. This year, we've extended the invite for final year students across Carlow as well as Waterford, and we aim to open that across all SETU campuses in the future. And this year's event happens this week in our offices, and I know, Veronica, you will be there. So you are all most welcome to attend, of course. These awards are always such a memorable day on our Sun Life calendar. Our Horizon program is in its 6th year. It's a mentorship program for female students who are studying at SETU, as we heard earlier on. This program aims to develop career advancement in IT for female undergraduates. We started it with an objective to provide exposure to female students to IT role models, as well as exposure to an IT environment. We have seen great collaboration and impact on our employees as well, allowing them to develop mentoring and coaching skills as they support the participants through the program. We continue that support to the students into their final year projects and beyond, as many have returned to us as interns or as permanent members of our teams. And of course, over the years, we have provided guest lecturers and speakers across various courses of SETU. As an aside, I just want to mention that it was great to be part of the lineup of speakers at the Women in Technology event held earlier this year in March 2023. So as you can see, Sun Life is proud to be your industry partner. I have no doubt, as we say in Sun Life, that the future is bright for us, for SETU, and for our region. The impact that you alone, Veronica, have had on SETU is so visible. This is evident in the way that only after a few weeks following your appointment to the role of president of SETU, you came to our offices to meet with myself and my leadership team. You were curious to understand more about our industry and how we can enhance our working relationship. You talked of how you wanted our buildings to feel porous, allowing for a continuous flow of people and ideas, and look at us today. Your commitment made a significant impact to us to show how SETU is indeed transforming. You will be pleased to know, hot off the press, confirmed today, that Sun Life Ireland has been named one of the best places to work in tech in Ireland by the Great Places to Work Institute. It's a huge achievement. As a financial services company, to be recognized for technical ability. It is a recognition of the talent that we have on our team today, and is also recognition for you, SETU, as our strategic partner. We are pleased to be an active member of the SETU ICT board, which aims to strengthen links with industry partners, and we look to influence and further collaborate for the development of our city and our region. We continue to collaborate with you on course content, including the higher diploma in data analytics, and we also aim to broaden our relationship to additional campuses for the development of our region. I am excited to share that this year we will see the creation of the Sun Life Scholarship Program, which we are very excited about, providing an amazing new set of opportunities for students. And following our Diversity and Inclusion Recognition Award we were talking about earlier on, from the Ireland Centre of Diversity, we will continue to collaborate with you in the area of the E&I, sharing best practices, as well as support each other with education. This is an area that we are really passionate about, and we will pursue what we have done to help and see the increase of female participation in STEM-related courses. In conclusion, we are very excited about what the future holds for our partnership and how we can continue to transform our strategic relationship with ACTU and other innovation partners for our ongoing success in the Southeast region as well. And with that, thank you once again, and I will hand it back over to you, Richard.
Thank you so much, Pierre, and again, thank you so much for your welcome here. I think between your remarks and Jen's, you've given a real demonstration of what SETU is about and what we're trying to achieve in this plan, so thank you so much for that. Before we conclude, I just want to acknowledge the tremendous effort that's gone into creating this document and this plan by an awful lot of people. And I want to thank all of those, many of them here, who participated in the consultation process, engaged in workshops, met with us, wrote to me, wrote to Veronica. All of that was very, very powerful. And many companies, organizations and agencies outside SETU engaged in consultation, and many, many people within the university obviously engaged in consultation on the plan. We aimed for a very deep consultation process despite the time frame, and I'm really proud of the fact that we got a deep consultation process. Colleagues were tremendously giving of their time and ideas. I want to thank sincerely our trade union reps for their engagement with the consultation, and we had some terrifically productive and interesting discussions with the trade unions. I want to thank colleagues on the Academic Council, and thanks also to our Students' Union and all colleagues across the university and outside the university. And I hope everybody sees something of themselves or their contribution in this plan. Colleagues on the executive team, I also want to thank them. They chaired working groups, and there were many, many people involved in the working groups, some of whom are here today, some are joining us online. And these working groups produced enormously rich reports that actually far exceeded what was needed for the production of the plan. So we're already part of the way down the road of implementation because of the really, really good work that was done in those working groups. Some of the reports they produced were 70 or 80 pages long, terrifically detailed, and they'll be real repositories of practical steps into the future. So that was terrific. And I've already mentioned our governing body, and the governing body and individual members of the governing body were completely engaged with the process from the off. And we're right, I think, again, if I can reflect on that, we're right to force the pace to get this plan out and to get us on the road. Lots of people contributed in very practical ways to the production of the document through the planning process and to these events today. I know it's dangerous and risky to start naming people, but I want to name a few people just to really recognise the work that they did. Graham Love, Laura O'Neill and colleagues in Mazars made a big contribution to the plan, particularly in the early stages, in helping us with the setup of it, and they were terrific. Mark O'Dowd and Fintan Bracken, I think Fintan is here, did really great work on the data that informs the plan. Veronica from the get-go, and again the governing body too, have said this has to be a data-informed plan. We have to have proper targets that are data-informed, and thanks to the work of Mark and Fintan and colleagues in the research offices, we have really good data behind this plan. I want to thank Brian Foley and David Ryan in the project office, who are of great assistance and support. Agus míle buíochas le Dorothy as an Astrachan Gaelga, agus buíochas freisin le Sean O'Hay, Seamus O'Dillon, agus Ian Grant. Thanks to Dorothy, who did the translation into Irish, and to Sean, Seamus and Ian for their assistance in some of the elements of the translation. Chris O'Riordan and Mary Delaney gave great help in proofreading, and Frips put manners on literally the back of napkin sketches and turned them into designs that were usable, and that was really, really fundamental work at the early stage. And the design of the final plan was done by Philip McCaskill of McCaskill Design. I think he did a terrific job in producing a very accessible plan and a very, very readable plan. So thanks to Philip and his team. Tom Ahern and Fintan McCarthy did a brilliant presentation on the website that kind of summarises the plan in a different way and is well worth looking at. And I want to thank Catherine O'Neill in my office for her calm and diligent work in keeping me organised and keeping us on track all the way through the planning process. And she also helped with organising these events, as did Anne Phelan, Breda Fagan, Patricia Madden, Olive O'Connor, Claire Quinn, all of whom helped set up these events, along with the teams in the various host venues. And Cian and Owen have been fantastic in running around the southeast, organising the live streams. And thanks finally to John Power in the TU Project Office for his fantastic work through the design process and also in organising the events. I hope I haven't left anybody out, but I think it's important that people get the recognition that is deserved for their fantastic effort. Many, many people contribute to this document and to these events, and it was a real collective effort to produce this plan today. We're so very pleased to see so many external people here and supporting us, and we're so very grateful for your support for SETU, and we depend on it. And as the President has said, SETU's success will be greatly enabled by the strong support of others outside SETU. And we want what's in this plan, and I think the region wants and needs what's in this plan. But if we want it and we need it, everybody here in the collective, here and across the region, our partners in other agencies, in politics, in local government and in business, have to promote the university and to keep the pressure on our funders to deliver on the ambition that we all share. Finally, I'll end by saying that we're delighted to gather here today to celebrate a milestone in the development of the university, our first strategic plan within a year of our creation, which was a great achievement, I think, for all of us. We wanted, as Veronica said at this event, to give public expression to our commitments to the region. But also, I think it's important to say we wanted to have this event in public to ask you to hold us to account for this plan. We don't convene here not to celebrate a job well done, but actually to celebrate a job well started, or to recognise that this is the beginning point. And we look forward to working with you and to receiving your scrutiny as we implement this plan over the coming 5 years. And we look forward to coming back in 5 years' time to acknowledge the progress made towards realising the potential that we know exists in the region. So again, thank you so much for coming today and for your continued support. Thanks once again to Sun Life for hosting us, and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you.